Hey everyone, this is my Patreon-powered reaction to the 7th episode of Seiken no Blacksmith. And last episode, we had a new character, Charlotte, show up, and her group of lackeys, all of which I pretty much recognized from the opening. And they came here with a goal in mind, basically, well, kind of two goals in mind. They wanted to get Luke the blacksmith, and they wanted to get Arya the magic sword, and luckily they got neither, as it should be. You can't just waltz into our town and start demanding all of our best stuff, and then acting surprised that we're not willing to give it to you. You don't do that, you know. But it did allow us to see Cecily doing some cool fighting, so that was one good thing about it. And I think Charlotte kind of is now living with Cecily, I think they said, you know, also making her pay for all the food. So they're really not the best house guests, like, not at all. But I'm sure they'll become friends over time, probably, maybe. But for now, let's just get into it and see what ends up happening. 3, 2, 1, play. Is this our new guests? Yep. Well, it's a decent-sized house. Sort of. Yeah, well, you're not so great either. Not the most grateful house guests ever. Oh. Oh yeah, we have the maid, didn't we? I am picking her up like a cat. Would you like your master back? This is a great maid. Nervous gulp. Well, at least somebody's willing to lay them down the law with Charlotte. That's a nice change of pace. Just love when she's like picks her up with one hand. Nobody makes it very clear we're gonna fight Siegfried at some point. Siegfried. I wonder when that will happen. Because we're a little bit more than halfway through the show at this point. And we're gonna go back to the house. Family. Okay. Well, I mean, it says Kazoku and family, but we really are putting them to work. I love the laughing. Mitch not usually wearing something so girly, is she? I mean, that's the best, really. Do you really want to do this? No! Get wrecked. Yeah, because it's gonna go better for you. It did not. Yeah, mistakes were made. Yeah, naturally she holds a grudge about that. Everything. Sounds good. And she's about dead. She's still laughing. That's all we ask. She's a master of this house. Why would she work? I knew she would like that idea. I'm okay with seeing her in a maid outfit. I'm okay with that. All the excuses just not working. We have already had a maid outfit too. I mean, there's no beating her current outfit, so maybe this is fine. A lot's going on. It's hard to explain. So no complaints from her? I don't think it's gonna work. Just... And there we go, the armor came off. It's been for far too long. I don't know why you felt the need to put your arms there, you kind of ruined it, but... At least the maid did her part. You spot something? Huh. Jeez. Yeah, that is some damage. I remember that. Good times. Because you care about her? My guess. There's somebody over there. Is that a girl? That's definitely a girl. Is it? Oh. 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 Oh, he gets to see her in the maid form. That's great. Lisa, you look too. This is not something you get to see every day. And that's where she focuses immediately, of course. It's not like I wear this because I want to or anything. But it suits her way too well. that was not a good idea. It was cute though. I mean, she's about as red as an apple, so... Nothing wrong with being a maid / knight / former noble. Praise from Luke. I don't think she was ready for that. Ow! Well, it's no more praise for you. It's her inner tsundere, don't worry about it. Because you look great in that outfit. That's mostly why. You would never guess this is her house. Maybe they have weapons in them. Scrubbing those floors. Oh, careful! Oh. Ow. Is everybody okay? Hey, she's gotten decent with a sword. Well, when you have a maid, of course you don't clean. Wow. That's certainly a good thing. It's so questionable how noble she is. Are we just gonna bury Cecily? Is that what we're gonna do this episode? She really needed her armor there. I think there's more than just sweat that needs to get washed off. But anyway, I am ready. This is definitely the reward for a day's hard work. Wow, they look great. Oh no. This is a much better battle than the first one. The best part is there's no steam or anything, you know? Yeah, that's what I thought. Keeping shampoo out of the eyes. Okay. Don't know how well it's gonna work out, though. Got some stuff on your face. Especially after a hard day's work. It does look pretty good. I don't suppose there's any for me. No? Okay. I have to change the subject. Eat up. I doubt it. Ouch. And we should probably check that again just to make sure. Definitely not a lot of Luke this episode. You wanna chat? Found you. Meets get that. Wasn't she adjusting rather nicely? That's nice. Oh, not as nice as that, though. Excellent strike. If there was somebody there, they would definitely be dead. Yeah, nothing to apologize for. Just gotta get better, that's all we can do. Gotta be more prepared next time. Yeah, that was difficult to handle. Oh? What do you want to try? I mean, we've already seen plenty this episode. Probably, but we got a lot of people, so it's fine. We don't have to. They're definitely worse places to live than with Cecily. Should try to remember their names. There's Penelope and Doris. And Charlotte, you know. I think I just realized that voice actress is Kobayashi Yu. I think. She sounded very much like it there. Might look that up later. Well, I wouldn't be. I don't want you two to be separated, that makes me nervous. I like you two together for multiple reasons. So, we're gonna talk to her. The very evil seeming one. Yeah, it seems like it. I'm glad we get confirmation on that. The sword has more soul in it. So that Cecily would have a life partner. Huh. Yeah, it doesn't really answer the question. Back to Death Mountain. That is seriously what I think every time I look at it. Death Mountain from Zelda Ocarina of Time. That's all I can think whenever I see it. I don't think that will ever change. She's a nice person. Oh, a match, I think. I mean, they're clearly not bad people. They just use cheap tactics to steal Arya. Yeah, what is that about? I assume she's referring to Luke. Just gonna sneak around the house. Huh. Does she remind her of her that much? Yeah, I'm kind of glad too. And maybe we could just stay here forever. I think what would matter to her most is you being happy. So just follow your heart and all that. I think this girl needs a head pat. Exactly. If you're happy here, then feel free to stay here. Just a little exhausted she looks. I think it's alright. Nice. It was a very heartwarming scene. Okay. Put it on speakerphone. Damn. Well, that's gotta hurt. Wow. I don't think that's true. Damn. This is way worse than I thought it would be. Like, I thought the worst we could hope for would be them being like, Charlotte who? And then that'd be it. But no, that's really bad. Okay, yeah, we have a problem now. That actually really hurt to listen to. Oof. Just trips over it every time. I just can't believe she hasn't learned her lesson after the first 2 or 3 times. Lisa does look a lot like Charlotte, doesn't she? I wonder if there might be any reveal in that regard. Like they're related, you know? Still love that back-to-back shot from Arya and Cecily. I don't even know why, but that's probably my favorite shot of the entire ED. I mean, it, without question is, but... Okay, I guess that's the episode. That was the 7th episode of Seiken no Blacksmith. And this episode, it was pretty much the whole episode was pretty much just getting to know our new characters, right? The ones that were introduced last episode, they were introduced as like an antagonist, and this episode was kind of a transitional from them being antagonists to being part of the group, friends. Actually living with Cecily, getting to be all dressed up in maids, doing actual work, bonding, getting to know each other, being pretty happy there. so happy that they're actually, you know, kind of want to stay there, you know? That was all pretty nice to see. And we got a bath scene, which is great. I mean, any show, bath scenes are great, but this one in particular is great because, you know, the Blu-ray version that I'm watching, you know, there's no steam, you know, there's actual nips. It's, you know, it's great, you know? So that's kind of like the best possible situation to have a bath scene in. So I quite enjoyed it because of that, you know, getting to see our girls just kind of doing the typical playful, playing around kind of thing they do in the bath. That was thoroughly enjoyable. Not a lot to say about it, but just there's some really nice figures for sure, and we got to see them pretty well. I don't know all the names, but the one that has like orangish hair, almost the same color as Cecily, she looks pretty good. She's obviously quite a bit smaller chest-wise than Cecily. But that makes sense because characters just keep talking about how big Cecily is. Despite not really being all that big, she's definitely bigger than any of these girls, that's for sure. Yeah, that's definitely for sure. But they all look great. I think the only character I don't really like too much character design wise is the Penelope, whatever her name is. Just that kind of hairstyle just doesn't do much for me. Not really a big fan of it. Everyone else looks pretty great though. then should we plug them off of her? Then she immediately just goes to guard them and lights flash and everyone's ready to go to work. Just it's a really great skinship, really. That's what it comes down to. Like the full-on Dia from Boris, I think her name is. So yeah, that was all pretty fun. And that's when we kind of got we got a lot of details about Charlotte, how she feels, you know, the stuff with her mother. We got a lot of like that this episode in particular, getting into Charlotte's backstory, which is pretty important, you know, her motivations and all that. It's just nice kind of getting to see her sort of, you know, opening up to this new environment, to these people. Definitely getting closer to Lucy, was her name? The mother-like character, you know? I think that's what her name was, but yeah, she was definitely bonding with her quite a bit. The mid card is great, you know, the one that said "in the public bath" on it. That was a great mid card, you know. Not too much to say on it, but I thought it was top tier for sure. And we had a bit of a discussion between Arya and that one magic sword who can actually become a person form, much like Arya. So I guess that's considered kind of a clue, a lead for Arya to try to figure out a bit about her existence and whatnot. Although she didn't speak too much, just talked about how these magic swords are kind of like demons and demon contracts and that sort of connection. That's all she really talked about. Nothing too useful, really. Nothing really useful at all. But yeah, we kind of ended off things with that really nice scene between, you know, Lucy and Charlotte, you know, kind of just helping her, giving her some advice about what to do. That was really nice. And then we actually ended off on a bit of a sadder note because the message from the Empire we've been waiting for, you know, turned out to be extremely bad news. You know, let's go through this again. There is no one by the name of Charlotte E. Fiedo-Beecher in the royal family. Just completely denying her right off the gate, but it just progressively gets worse. Because he says that, and there's obviously a very strong look of surprise on Charlotte's face and other people's faces. Her party betrayed the royal family and stole magic swords from the royal guard. I don't believe that at all. Like, not even a little bit. You can definitely tell how pissed off Boris is. The sword heirloom is fake as well, and we demand that it and the magic swords be compensated immediately. I mean, that's when it really got bad there, right? I mean, just straight up treating them like criminals that are wanted. To completely calling the heirloom that was so valued and treasured by Charlotte and her mother, calling it a fake. Like, just that's gotta hurt so much. This is just not okay. Like, even Penelope, the look on her face is definitely really what got me. Like, not even just the rage, like, with Boris. It was just, like, a lot of shock and hurts. Just, I don't think I've ever seen such a painful letter reading scene, like, in a long time. They are also to be punished under the law of the Empire. It's a little bit ironic just because we talked about, you know, arresting them last episode, but decided not to because of the connection with the Empire. Then, you know, the supposed connection with the Empire. Now we have this. Man, that just ruined their entire day. Put it mildly. That really changes things, you know? Definitely narrows down the options, you know? So that option's pretty much just going to the Empire. Happily, that's off the table at this point, for sure. So, yeah, we had a pretty positive episode for the most part, you know? But went downhill pretty quickly when that letter arrived. So, I don't know what we do now, really. This got pretty complicated pretty quickly, but I'm sure we'll help as best we can. Charlotte and them are kind of like family now, so I'm sure we'll do what we can to help. I'm sure Cecily will not believe that nonsense. Like, it's so obviously not true. Just one look at everyone's faces and reaction makes it pretty clear that that's not true. So, I wonder if we could possibly get that resolved somehow. I don't know how, but hopefully we can get something figured out because they're all pretty good people.
Thank you for watching.
And a special thanks to Cnouki and Ryan for supporting the channel.
If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.
Deserve that.